I got home from work. I scrubbed my bathroom floor clean. I did some workouts, and I am ready to get back to work. I am getting ready to go after Review Tech USA again for some new fake news. I have no idea at all what I'm in for here. I didn't pre-screen this video. I just saw that he uploaded it. I have talked about like Review Tech USA and his terrible Nintendo takes in the past. This is, of course, someone who has been aggressively pushing the Switch Pro rumors, and now he's moved on to Switch 2 rumors, right? That is the new YouTube grift, right? From the community, is pretending that the Switch 2 is imminent, that this is something that is coming out next year, which of course isn't going to happen. Like, they're not going to release a new Nintendo console a full year after the new Mario game. Like, it's going to be like another 2 to 3 years, like, I think. You know, like, I've been predicting that like 2027 is where I would think where I expect that the Switch is going to be replaced. Like, there is no reason to replace the Switch at this point in time. It's selling too well and it's selling too many units. But people like Review Tech USA, people like DSP or like Switch Force or Game Explain or like any one of these like YouTube gaming grifters don't want to admit it because they just want to make stuff up. They just want to speculate. They want to do everything except actually talk about the video games, and it is disgusting. So let's go ahead and take a look at what our boy Review Tech USA has to say about this.
Some new Switch 2 news has just dropped. I've been ignoring a lot of it because then I would become a Review Switch 2 USA.
Okay. Okay, let's be real here. Okay, ignoring a lot of it? Are you joking? Like, there's been nothing to talk about. The fact that you've been talking about the Switch 2, a console that does not exist at all, like the fact that you're talking about this thing at all, considering like the lack of information that we have on it, you know, this thing that we don't even know exists, there is nothing to talk about, right? You are making too many videos on this topic because there is no information at all. Any YouTuber who says they have an insider source and their uncle works at Nintendo or that they like did something to get someone to like say something to them, like, it's not true. It's not real. We have consistently gone through this pattern for the past decade. Right? We cannot trust these nobody rumors on 4chan, on NeoGAF, on Twitter, like on YouTube. These people are unreliable. And the fact that you constantly report on it shows just how much of a fraud you are. You absolutely should know better than anyone, that this stuff is a hoax, right? But you won't address it. You won't admit it because that goes against the grift.
But this is actually hitting different. There's some big news here. I need you to focus on my ass.
It's like he doesn't even believe it. Like, you can tell by the tone of his voice that he knows this is crap. He knows this isn't real, but, oh man, gotta get those clicks, gotta get those YouTubers, gotta get those angry Nintendo fanboy reaction videos made. Like, come on.
Nintendo, focus on my ass. You see what I did there? You don't know what I did yet because I didn't actually talk about the story, but just focus. Watch the video and subscribe. Skip it up and that up. So like I said in the intro, I have stayed away from Switch 2 rumors because quite frankly myself, I got tired of them. There have been Switch 2, Switch Pro, whatever the hell you want to call it, rumors since like 1982. Like, literally since the Switch dropped, they were already putting out a more powerful Switch is coming. A Switch Pro, which the Switch OLED, from what I've read, it's almost confirmed, was supposed to be the Pro.
Nope, fake news, that's a hoax. That is an excuse to justify why the rumors were wrong. Like, oh man, we were right, but the plans changed. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to stop believing that. No.
But due to shortages, due to COVID, they were just like, yeah, let's just put an OLED screen and call it a day, which...
fake news.
That was a choice. Now, I'm going to say this like I have always done and have been saying for years. Take this with a minuscule, microscopic grain of salt.
Yeah. Gotta love how these people all have the same playbook. Ooh, if I say you need to take this with a grain of salt, it means I'm not responsible for whatever nonsense I spout out next. Like, oh man, take this statement with a grain of salt. This story isn't true at all, but I warned you it might not be true ahead of time, so it's on you if you think it's real.
Because it could be total misinformation. We have seen people trick news outlets into thinking that they were a source when they weren't. You remember that back in the day with Nintendo? It was quite interesting. So this could all be nonsense, but man, they put in a lot of work to do this nonsense, but people have put in that work to trick people. So just keep that all in mind. This comes from tomsguide.com. I'll read it to you, then we'll discuss. The Nintendo Switch rumor mill has churned out one of its most intriguing leaks to date. An unverified tipster, just the tip, continuing.
Unverified. 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 You are taking the word of an unverified tipster over, like, any real statement from Nintendo, like, any... No, there is no credibility to the story at all, and the fact that this video exists is disgusting, right? Like, why did he make a video based on the statement from an unverified tipster? Absolutely deplorable, ridiculous.
Has claimed that Nintendo will drop the Switch name from its next console, and the same source has also suggested that
not gonna happen.
The device will launch with a pretty killer lineup that includes a new Mario Kart game, which would be nice because they are still milking Mario Kart 8 that were first released on the Wii U. You remember that?
That's something I've been talking about a little bit. Like, one of the big reasons why I don't expect Switch to be replaced anytime soon, we haven't gotten an original Mario Kart game for it yet. So in theory, they could, like, release one, after the DLC comes out, like, next year, and that'll, like, explode Switch sales and send it, like, in and of itself, send it soaring way past PS2 sales.
That system, right? It failed. Mario Kart 8 is great, don't get me wrong, but it's time for a new one. They're like pulling a Grand Theft Auto with Mario Kart 8. Let's continue. Grand Theft Auto 5, I mean to say. Going by the name Jonathan Bark, this leaker, who if you go to his Twitter profile does not instill much faith in his credibility, has taken to social media to offer...
Even Rich doesn't take this seriously. You can tell he doesn't believe this, but he's doing it for the clicks. He's doing it for the attention. He's doing it because he's a grifter.
Up some intriguing information. Now, keep in mind, one thing I will say is that this Twitter profile is from 2015. It's not like it was made yesterday, but it still doesn't mean it's a pile of crap. It's a weird profile. The biggest morsel is that the Switch 2 will actually be called the Nintendo Focus. Focus on PlayStation's portal. This is getting weird. This is getting real weird. Let's go. And the source has also provided a logo for the device. And are you ready for it? You probably saw it in the thumbnail already, but are you?
The Focus. Really? That is like a top secret code name for the new console, the Focus. The Focus. How can you believe this is real?
You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Have a goddamn cucumber. Now, I do find it weird that...
Wait, what? He just super laid it onto a Switch? What?
That they would get rid of the name Switch from their next-gen console, especially if it's going to have a similar form factor to, well, the Switch. But I think Nintendo is afraid. Tom's Guide says the same thing too, but it is true that, hey, remember when we had the really successful Wii and then we came out with the Wii U? How'd that work out? But Nintendo, that was your shit marketing. That was your terrible marketing.
No, it was corrupt game journalists doing everything in their power to crush Nintendo. But no, it has nothing to do with the marketing.
Made that happen. Hate to break it to you. People thought that the Wii U was an add-on for the Wii.
Because of corrupt gaming journalists.
Call it like the Super Nintendo Switch. Jesus, there you go. You're welcome. But they're gonna call it the Focus, maybe. We'll see what happens. But be interesting if they're so afraid of doing the same thing they did with the Wii U again that they totally changed the name. But people are excited for a new Switch, so maybe sticking to the same name would be a good idea. I'm rambling now. Let's continue. Now, this mysterious Barkman also is saying that the new, whatever the hell it's going to be from Nintendo, the Focus, is going to have VR capabilities, which are not further explained. To date, Nintendo has not entered the virtual reality arena with a product of its own. Oh no. So we would be surprised to see its next flagship device place VR at its center. However, Nintendo has a long track record of surprise moves, and perhaps this is just the latest.
Think you're ready? Let's get to
this one, which is fine so long as VR is an add-on to it. If the next console from Nintendo comes out and it is VR only, I am going to cry. I am like, Nintendo, you have the formula. Don't screw it up. You want to innovate and have a VR addition to the Switch? Perfect. You want to name it Focus? All right, not the end of the world. Hey, it'll definitely differentiate it from the Switch, even though I still think new Super Nintendo Switch would be Super Nintendo Switch would be a cooler name, but whatever. I'm old. Maybe that's why I think so. But don't make the console just VR, for the love of Christ. Please. I don't think they're going to do that, but whatever. Again, these are rumors, and all these rumors could be a pile of crap. Keep that in mind, too. The source has also provided information about the launch lineup for the Nintendo Focus. The console will reportedly come with a pack entitled called Relno Ramen Warrior. Okay. This will be a 3D platformer with co-op elements. And another key launch title will be Mario Kart. I'll believe that when I see it. The leaker doesn't specify if this will be a new installment in the popular racing franchise or a port of a previous entry such as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. No, it's time for a new one, Nintendo. I'm trying to hold back a burp. Which, like I said before, first launched on the Wii U in 2014, almost a decade ago. Like I said, that's like Nintendo's equivalent to Grand Theft Auto 5. Other titles mentioned in the leak include a new F-Zero game called F-Zero Titans and ARMS 2, which actually was a pretty underrated game that was good. I like ARMS. The latter is apparently set to release in 2025. Bark also indicates that the Nintendo Focus will offer some form of backwards compatibility, which is...
They're going to bring F-Zero back after saying it's not coming back like several times in a row. Like, come on, bro. It's just not going to happen.
Been up in the air and contested by people. Some say it will, some say it won't. Developers don't want it to, so they can make you rebuy the same games again, remastered, so they could double dip into your wallets. But continuing, Nintendo Focus will offer some form of backwards compatibility with Switch titles, but there will be a transfer fee. Hope this ain't true, of $2.99 per game. I'm going to hope and pray that's wrong. If you have a big library and say you want to transfer it to your new Focus, sounds like a Ford Focus. Say you have 60 games, $2.99 per game. It's $120. Again, super microscopic grain of salt. This would represent a very different approach to backwards compatibility than the PS5 and Xbox Series X, which offer the feature without cost. Now, other leaks have said that the Nintendo Focus will cost $399. It will have an 8-inch screen, which is a good sign. Please let it be. You could call it Focus, just let it be a more powerful Switch. And it's going to launch sometime in 2024. Okay. Couple things here. Nintendo, do something about Joy-Con drift. Okay, even though there's other platforms that deal with their own forms of drift. You could keep the same 720p screen. Have it be 720p OLED. I hear it's not going to be OLED because they want to cut back on costs. I rather have the GPU in the next gen Switch or Focus, whatever the hell it's going to be called, not worry about pushing out more pixels. I rather worry about other graphical niceties like better lighting, volumetric lighting, better textures, better frame rates. And then fine, if you want to dock it and play it at 1080p plus because it's powerful enough, then there you go. Then it's your home console. But on the go, keep it a damn 720p screen. worry about frame rates. That would be, imagine every game running at 60 on the next gen Switch, or again, whatever the hell it's called. That would be amazing. Again, look, the rumor mill is picking up because the Nintendo Switch is old. Nintendo realizes that, and you have a bunch of devices that people are seeing that are tempting, like the Steam Deck and ROG Ally.
Nobody bought the Steam Deck. 1.5 million units sold in like a year. Like, the Steam Deck is a complete failure. And don't even get me started on like the Ally. Like,
and other devices that are blowing away the Nintendo Switch in terms of its capabilities. Like I always
what games are on the Steam Deck? Name a single game that is as grand, epic, and amazing as Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. You cannot come up with a single example. Okay? Like, you can't.
say that Tegra X1 processor was already a couple years old when it was put inside the Switch when the Switch launched in 2017. And when you play games like Warhammer Bolt Gun, which I've played on the Switch, it's the frame rate is brutal. And then you go and play it on the Steam Deck or Ally or whatever, and it runs buttery smooth. So it's time for a new Switch. Hopefully it's going to, I don't care what you call it, hopefully it's a similar form factor to the Switch with some improvements, especially to ergonomics and the durability of the Joy-Cons, and just make it more powerful. And hey, if you have some side accessory that adds VR capabilities, that's great. But don't make it the center focus of your next-gen console. Please, I beg you. You have a winning formula. Don't screw it up. Just make a more powerful Switch. This is Rich, ReviewTechUSA, signing out. Have a bird one. Why am I talking about the bird so much today? I have an issue. I'm going to stop now.
Oops. Yeah, what a joke. What a joke. That was, what a complete nothing burger. What in the world was that? Like, ReviewTechUSA coming out and talking about a Nintendo platform that does not exist. And what's more, he obviously knows that it does not exist, right? Like, this isn't him being like, oh man, this could exist. No, he's basically coming out and straight up telling you, this isn't real. I know it's not real, but I'm going to report it on anyway because I'm ReviewTechUSA, and I am one of the biggest grifters on the platform. Absolutely disgusting. What a complete tool, right? ReviewTechUSA, you are the worst.